Her background is nerd.
Darren should have gone to school here instead of Cutter, because you are a devil. I can tell you that right now.
She rolls in like she's a Hollywood movie star now. She just she's just here for the camera.
I guess I tooted.
No hard-hitting questions here.
Yeah,
Shall we talk about my one-sentence resignation?
Well, welcome to the next episode, I guess. Is
Christmas edition.
Christmas edition of Spilling the Tea in Studio D. Man,
Yes.
we have some very high-level guests today.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's going to be interesting.
Scraping the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah. I don't know how you pulled it off.
I don't know, but I mean, I'm digging your shirt.
Yeah. Well, it says that we were going to wear ugly Christmas shirts, so, you know, I thought I would
So
go
we wore Christmas candy.
straight up Christmas candy. Right.
So mean.
But I would say we got a couple good-looking ones
Little
here, too.
bullies.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, I'm digging it.
I think Heath's is the best.
All right.
Yeah, I think Heath's is the best.
Thank you.
Right.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Right. So I guess we should introduce our guest today. We have Tristan Knoedl from Bismarck, Superintendent. And I keep wanting to go old school, Benton Harmony Grove, but it's not that. It's Haskell Harmony Grove these days.
Yeah. Cousin Bennett.
So is that your doing? Heath Bennett, by the way.
No.
And we're not really cousins.
Mr. Henley put that in.
Oh,
Got it all
okay.
worked out before I got there.
Okay, I got you. I mean, growing up, you know, at the old Cutter Morning Star, but like I said, old habits are hard to break. Benton Harmony Grove through the years. Sure. So this is one of everybody's favorite time of the year in the school business, I guess, is the week leading into the Christmas break, right? All is merry and bright, right? Yeah,
They're quiet now.
Yeah,
What happened to y'all?
Yeah,
Cameras
We're
cameras
letting
got
Darren
you?
finish his
Okay.
intro.
right, yeah, exactly. So, but I tell you, let's just start out like this. This way, get to know you kind of thing. Maybe,
Lucky them.
yeah. How you landed where you're at, kind of your path to where you're at right now.
Well, I started coaching football at Rising a long time ago, and I met this old girl from Bismarck.
Gotcha.
And, you know, there's two kinds of people
And
in
she
Bismarck.
stayed with you? No.
For 14
I'm
years
just kidding.
today.
Oh wow!
Hey.
Anyway,
Congrats.
I can't believe she stayed around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been good for her too. Best thing ever happened to her.
Okay.
So you know, there's two kinds of people in Bismarck. I always say, those that they're from there, and those that marry people from there. And
Gotcha.
So we all end up back there. I knew as soon as I married her that's where I'd end up someday.
Right.
And so actually, Larry hired me at Ouachita to be high school principal. I was there for 4 years. Went to Mount Ida for 2 as superintendent, and then was fortunate enough to land back at Bismarck. So.
Okay.
Now it's home for me. I've lived there for about 8 years, and this is my second year at Bismarck superintendent.
And how many years all total?
17.
17. Okay. Heath, what about you? Your path to madness.
I started out at Horatio in 2000, and I had the opportunity to go there and coach, and was there for 3 years, and then had opportunity to really young age to become a high school principal, and went up to Hackett for a year, and then Benny hired me Weston at Mount Ida. I got to go there for 6 years as high school principal, middle school principal, and the board kind of talked to me about getting my specialist and possibly wanting to be a superintendent. Now, mind you, back when I was coaching, it's nice, or at least back then it was coaching.
Right.
You still got a few attaboys and things like that, and I'm like, principals really don't get a whole lot of those.
Yeah.
It's more just you're picking on my kids,
Yeah.
stuff like
Yeah.
that. And
So
so when they finally convinced me to be a principal, then I had people there at Mount Ida talk to me about becoming a superintendent. I was like, well, they sure don't ever get anything positive said about them. Raising our taxes, doing this, doing that. And I was like, hey, I'll go ahead and try it. So I went through ULR and did that. Had opportunity to go to Foreman for a year, and then went to Whitehall for 6 years. Worked for Dr. Larry Smith, and loved Whitehall. It's a great school and community, and all the schools I've been at, I've been blessed and worked with really, really good people. And then had the opportunity to go to Harmony Grove, where I've been for 9, and it's been fantastic. Have a great school, great board. It's been a blessing for me and my family. And this is my 26th year, so it's been great. And look for a few more.
Yeah. Well, you're absolutely right. Being a recovering superintendent, when that phone rings, it's usually not to tell you you're doing a bang-up job.
Generally not.
Something's on fire.
Something's on fire. That's a good way of putting it. I know it's hard to believe this, but Candace and I, we actually student taught together. And
I've aged so much better.
Yeah.
No doubt.
I was thinking
Well,
that. I wasn't going to say it, though.
Well,
Yeah.
but what I would say, I didn't have gray hair till I worked with her. You know, so
I understand.
That's a lie.
And here's the thing about me, I've hired her twice. So
Well, that says something about you. Dan.
yeah, lucky me. Woo.
Christmas candy.
Christmas candy.
That's right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So yeah. So was education always on your radar? Something you thought you were going to do, wanted to do?
When I was in high school, I knew I wanted to be a football coach.
Gotcha.
I got my start. I was on a bus home from a team camp, and Coach yells at me from the front of the bus. He says, "Knoedl, come up here." So I walk up to the front of the bus, and he says, "Hey, I'm putting you in 7th grade athletics." I said, "Dang, man, I played that bad today? You demoting me?" And
Right.
he said, "Shut up. You're gonna help us coach." And so I did that for 2 years as a student assistant. They did that a lot in Fordyce back
That's
then,
awesome.
and they may still do. I don't know,
Yeah.
but every year they didn't have enough assistants, so they would get some senior high kids to help coach. And so
Right.
I knew then that's what I was going to
Okay.
do. Now, as far as being an administrator or superintendent, no, that wasn't ever in my wheelhouse
Right.
back then. So
Yeah.
that's kind of how I, ended up where I'm at with education.
Right. Yeah.
Mine was probably a little bit different. I mean, growing up as any, I guess, athlete or student athlete, I wanted to play college, whether it was football, basketball, or whatever, and had a chance possibly to went to Henderson, played football, really wanted to play basketball, and just at the last minute decided not to. And the next closest thing, of course, was coaching.
Right.
And so I knew, kind of going in my senior year of high school, that I definitely wanted to work with athletics. Loved it. I mean, it's where, and the reason why, besides having really good people around me, and still do, athletics has pretty much got me to where a lot of the reason why I am where I'm at. So, just like anybody young, you kind of think you're going to coach for forever and things like that.
Right.
And then sometimes life
God's got
changes,
other plans. Yeah.
and God's got other
Yeah.
plans for
Oh,
you.
yeah.
And, never would have dreamed, back 25, 30 years ago, I would ever been an administrator.
Oh yeah.
A teacher or coach would have, probably been the biggest dream, and then to actually possibly be considered, someone that actually is a leader of a building,
Yeah.
a district.
It's a scary
As
thought.
long as
Yeah.
they don't,
Yeah.
those aliases and statute
Yeah.
of limitations, I think
Sure.
they've passed. So,
Yeah, that's
hopefully
hilarious.
everything will
Oh yeah.
be okay.
And we've talked about this before on the podcast. Thank God cell phones weren't around.
Amen.
Until they
No
came around.
doubt
right?
about it.
Yeah.
So, like, how long have you guys known each other? Have y'all known each other for a long time, or just
It's-
like recently?
It's been a while now. I
4 or
met
5
him.
years, something.
Yeah, when I was at Washita as a principal, of course, I used to go. I was AD too, so I went to all
Okay.
the games, and we would talk when we played
Yeah.
Harmony Grove, and then I actually called him. I hate to admit this for advice. When I went to Mount Ida, Larry told me, so Heath was at Mount Ida forever. And I said, no, I didn't know that. So I called and asked him about it, and he told me I should do it, and so
Yeah.
that's kind of we've been friends ever since.
Now you big hunting buddies.
Well,
Yeah.
and I
Well,
would have to say
Who's the
this.
best hunter?
Oh, he's better.
There's
No
no
doubt
doubt.
about it. No doubt about it.
I wasn't going to bust him out like that.
I'm there
but
for moral support.
He's trying
and
to be
snacks.
humble.
I bring the
I'm
snacks.
trying really
That's
hard.
about
He
it.
brings us.
He does.
But-
He's got a good snack game.
But no, we actually, it's funny, of course I got to work, or I did my student teaching with Larry Newsom at Prescott and a bunch of other
Oh,
really
that's
good,
cool. Y'all
good
both worked with
folks.
him.
And
That's what's wrong with him.
Yeah.
and so anyway, Larry's always done a great job wherever he's been at through the years, the principal, superintendent, or whatever. And just, I've always admired the job he's done and the job that y'all do here at the co-op. And, I don't care if it's teaching or coaching, administration. If you want to be successful, you put yourself around people that are doing a phenomenal
Yeah.
job. And so I would reach out to Larry
Yeah.
and other
right.
people and want to try to pull ideas from them. And even though Tristan was really young, you could tell he was an up-and-coming administrator
Yeah.
and knew what he was doing, had a passion
Yeah.
for children. And so I actually took all my admin team and we went and spent a day at Ouachita, and just to wanted to see what they had going on and things like that. And they do a lot of great stuff over there, as well as Bismarck and under Tristan's leadership and things like that. He's doing a great job there.
You basically said keep your eye on Tristan, and what he does, don't do it.
Don't do it. That's if you want to be successful.
There's a couple things.
That's for sure.
It's so hard to keep a straight face with you wearing this shirt.
Well,
it is awesome.
I can't.
Props to Katrina
When
for
I
that.
when I text y'all and reminded you,
Yeah.
and Tristan's like, "Oh, I got you, I got you," and he sent a picture of that. I thought, oh, this is gonna be great.
Katrina's going to enjoy watching this just because of that.
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you, Katrina.
Yeah. But
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
but thinking back on the coaching piece, there's so many things that come out of coaching that prepare you. I mean, for the seat you're sitting in today.
Yep.
I mean, believe it or not, Candace coach cheerleading and dance or
Cheer, just cheer.
cheer
Oh,
is-
just cheer.
I
Perfect
commend
cheer.
you. I couldn't
5
do it.
years.
The perfect cheer.
Yeah.
The perfect cheer.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But I think as the coaching, the way things come at you, I mean, it really teaches you, number one, how to multitask every day, and that's the other part about coaching. I think every day is a new day, right?
Well, there's just so much about life with coaching. I
Sure.
mean, you're going to have highs, you're going to have lows, and how you respond to that, and what you teach young men and women to deal with and respond with, because every day's not going to be perfect. I mean, it's not like getting to work at Dawson Co-op where everything is perfect.
Exactly.
Sunshine and rainbows.
Out
Listen,
here-
do you
no.
see
Out
who I
here
work
in
with
the-
every day?
out
Do you
here-
see?
Yeah.
You think that's
Yeah.
Christmas
Christmas
candy
candy.
around here?
That's right.
Out here in the
He
trenches.
gets to work with Christmas
It
candy.
can't get much better.
Look
than this.
here, I got the sun right here, sunshine right there.
Out here in the
Standing on my
trenches
finger.
where me and Tristan survived.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's
out there where the wolves are.
That's
at
right.
home.
Yeah,
know,
absolutely.
It's
Coaching
fun.
though, it prepares you a lot for a role like this. To me,
Yeah.
because there's so much. I mean, you have to adjust on the fly.
Yep.
Whether it's a game plan that's not working,
Yeah.
or somebody gets hurt, and at a small school, you don't have a 2-deep roster most of the time. So
Right.
when one person gets
Right.
hurt, you have to move
Yeah.
pieces all over the place.
Yeah.
And working under pressure, coaching
Right.
in Rising Arkansas, I tell people you can't hurt my feelings. I was
Right,
hurt
exactly.
at all.
You got to have
Yeah.
feelings to begin with.
Yeah, you got. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Exactly.
there's something to be said for that too.
Right.
But
Yeah.
coaching, I feel like under a good coach, it prepares you a lot for a role like what we do.
Yeah. Well, you say that, and the last couple of weekends, I had state championships on television, but it was, reminded that real quick. I mean, when I played ball in high school, we had I think my senior year we finished with 18 players. But even at the championship level with 2 and 3A, I mean, there were a lot of kids going both ways.
Yes.
I mean, you got the quarterback over here playing. I'm trying to think which team it was, but he was middle linebacker. And
Well, when we lost to McCrory in the state championship, when I was at Rising, the quarterback did play Mike linebacker and was a tough Mike linebacker too.
Yeah.
Mansfield, who beat us in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Most of their kids went both ways. They
Right.
did a really good job.
Yeah.
And athletics and everything extracurricular is so important to schools and to
Sure.
communities. And
Oh,
super
yeah.
passionate Arkadelphia and things like that, and all the success that they've had.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, sometimes some of the schools that we have been to, sometimes smaller schools, I mean, that's the only show in town.
Oh, yeah.
And they get behind it so
Yeah.
much. Not to say that it's not important, because I've been blessed to work in big schools and small
Right.
schools.
Yeah.
But just, it's a lot to be said when you, on Friday nights or Tuesday or Thursday during basketball or whatever, you understand that, that community is totally committed to that school and
Oh,
those
yeah.
young people,
Sure.
and that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and then the other side of coaching, where some of these kids, you can't help but think what would they be doing if they
Sure.
weren't plugged in there.
Sure.
Yep.
And that that's the other thing
Yeah.
about if people could really spend some time with a coach to understand it. I mean, what you see on the field or on the court.
Right.
But everything that leads up to that moment,
Sure.
and taking kids home, providing food, clothing, those kinds of
The
things.
part people pay to see is the smallest part.
That's
of
right.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
right. Absolutely.
You're right.
And,
You're
and
right.
that's when it's real easy to be a coach,
Right.
And I still enjoy walking out on Friday night
Yeah.
and taking in the atmosphere
Sure.
and,
Yeah.
doing those kinds of things. But it's the weight room in the middle
Yeah.
of
Yep.
Yeah.
the off season when nobody's watching.
You really get to know those
the
kids
summer it's
too.
really hot.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of times you pay a price to be out there.
Yeah, I can remember crossing over to the dark side first year in administration and people saying, man, do you miss coaching? I said, I thought I would until August rolled around and y'all are out there practicing. I just bumped the thermostat down,
Yeah, for sure. The air is a lot better.
Yeah. Well, Candace was known really for more than anything was her ability to drive a bus. What'd you hit? A couple of things? Only 2 things, right?
No.
You backed into somebody?
No, I did
might
not.
need a bus driver.
She
Listen,
said if you
I
ain't
did not.
rubbing, you ain't racing.
Listen,
That's right, exactly. That's her, for sure. That's her mantra.
I did not back into anything.
You didn't back it up.
No. Listen.
Oh, you.
I backed the bus. Stop. Okay. I hit a car.
Oh, so you were going forward when
So
you
listen,
hit it.
do you know where Hot Springs Gymnastics and play-by-play
Yes.
used to
Yeah.
be, whatever?
Yeah.
So you enter and then you exit. Well,
Generally,
I
that's
had the
what
cheerleaders,
happens.
before I let them off, I said, hey, am I close to this truck? The bolt on the back of my bus hit the bumper, and I saw the truck move, and I went, great. So I'm pregnant.
bus
Now,
were you
listen,
driving?
I'm pregnant at the time.
Congrats.
I have to go in.
Yeah, exactly. Congratulations. What's that
I
got to
was
do
pregnant.
with driving?
No, listen, pregnancy brain.
Big
That
driving
was
with
it.
pregnancy brain.
Yeah.
And the bolts on the
Pregnancy
back
brain.
of it.
So I go in because there was a physical therapy part. I go in and I'm thinking, oh man, somebody's gonna be so mad. There's just gonna be this man in here.
Yeah.
Well, there was physical therapy connected to the gymnastics, and the guy
Seems like it
was
would be
in.
good.
He was from the village. I found out. So I walk
Yeah.
in and I'm like, who drives a white? I don't remember what it was. Dodge truck, something. And he was like, I do. And I was like, well, sir, I just hit your truck with the bus, whatever. Anyway, then I had to go back to the school and say, hey, I hit this guy's
Did you
bumper.
mess it up very bad?
No, just scratched it, but I think they had it replaced, the whole bumper, whatever.
Yeah.
Did you continue to drive under your pregnancy?
I did, and I had
Yeah.
to drive to Joe T. Robinson. And after this, I did not drive until after I had Sarah. So drove to Joe T. Robinson, was headed to the baseball field, didn't know it, instead of the football field. And we went up this big hill while I was going not super fast, but smashed the tailpipe. All the girls went up in the back. Parents were behind me they're like, let me pry the tailpipe open so you get home. So
And you
so
know
then I forgot to turn my clearance lights on the way home. It was bad. It was just bad.
And don't you know those parents behind her were going, who's that idiot?
Yeah,
right
I know.
there? I hope my
So,
kid's not on that bus.
I got back to Lakeside at that point. Darren Landry, who was coaching at the time, I was teaching a coaching chair. I have the next morning, he draws this nice, huge bus with a smashed tailpipe. His kids screaming all over my board in my room. I got him back. But
I can't believe
I
you do
told
that to
Ray, I know, can you believe it? I told Ray, I said, I'm done driving till after I have this baby because
Yeah.
it was total pregnancy brain. Plus, y'all know I'm ADD anyway.
I'm
so.
impressed that you drove a bus. I really
I
am.
did. I did not want to, but
Yeah.
and then when you get it to drive the cheerleaders,
Yeah.
then it's like, hey, can you drive a sub route?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then I get to these places that I didn't know exist in Lakeside School District, and I'm like, how do I get back to the school? And they're like, well, ask your last kid. I was like, he's 6.
Yeah.
I don't know how to get back to
Yeah,
the school.
that's
Yeah.
tough.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
tough.
So anyway, yeah.
I love the story about that, relying on kids. The first time I sub drove at Jesseville, we're going down Bewdry down there, which is the country dirt road behind, and guy said, yeah, coach, I got you. Stop! And he goes, just kidding. About third time he did that, I pulled him up real close and said, look, you do that again, you're going to be walking, to the end of Bewdry.
I don't believe they would do something like that.
And
That's
he was like, okay, yeah.
Hey, I did hit some curves on a snub nose bus. I'd never driven one before.
Right.
Got on it, and the kids were like, Miss Bennett, have you driven a bus before? I was like, no, sit down. Y'all better be quiet. And they were just like, oh, my
Yeah.
gosh. Yeah.
Was that with
That was
pregnancy or
no,
without?
that was before.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was
Seems
just
like
So that's
kind of a
not
pattern.
that's not really why. Okay.
Listen,
Yeah.
y'all have to give me credit, okay? Because those buses are different, and I had never
They are.
driven one
All the
before.
credit.
All the
Oh, yeah. All the credit.
all the credit.
Yeah.
Hey, I survived. The kids survived.
That's the main thing.
They survived.
But did
You
you
got
die?
everybody home and
Got everybody home
nobody
safe?
was harmed.
Safely.
Nobody died?
No.
Nobody died?
Nobody
Yeah,
died.
we
Sometimes
really,
that's all you can do.
we
Yeah.
really haven't dove into your athletic career in
I
high
was
school.
going to say about
Yeah.
cheer and what
Zero
else?
athletics.
Really?
She was like,
None?
Do you think I have any athletic ability at
Well,
all?
I mean, there's a lot of things that falls under
I
mean-
extracurricular. So
At some point, she was like on the JV dance
Edit that
team.
part.
or
No,
something,
junior
right?
high dance.
Yeah,
But
junior high.
But then
B team, right?
sure.
Okay.
I mean, there was
yeah.
no B team. It was cheerleaders and the dance team. was it.
Everybody get a trophy.
Did you ever get out where
But
they
you know,
run around and have the
they're
little
just
thing
jealous.
that you spin
They're
around?
just jealous because I beat him at the dance contest at Cutter that year.
Oh.
Yeah. Hey,
Dance
See,
off.
Katie said,
Dance
"Oh
off.
yeah,
yeah.
I
You
got him
talent.
good.
You got talent.
Hey,
I go. You got talent.
she practiced
I can
for like
keep
3
keep
weeks.
an 8 count.
Yeah.
Darren
yeah.
can't keep. Darren
Yeah.
can't give me 8 count.
It's all about the rhythm.
Exactly. That's right. Yeah. Yeah. Rhythm Nation.
Rhythm Bennett. Rhythm Bennett.
That's right. Yeah.
Christmas candy.
Yeah. She practiced the whole time. It was. Yeah.
This is going off a cliff.
This is gonna
Yeah.
Was
be.
that one time in gym class?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. You know,
Oh, Lord.
this is the part.
Michael, get ready to edit.
Where, hey, this is the part where we need to
Got a
flash
hot
up
mic.
that sign or that picture we have of Candace. That-
Which one?
The one with the glasses and the frizzy hair.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
you're so mean.
we-
He is so mean. Like, you just better
Yeah.
be glad I can take a joke.
I was trying to think where we were presenting, and we found it, and it very well could have been Candace with frizzy hair. And
It kind of looked like a
Yeah.
picture of my sister, actually,
And-
with curly.
so we put it
80s
up
hair.
one day. We were talking, and she's not even realizing the fact. We're like, that's on her contact on her business card. But I'm telling you, it could have been a young Candy, couldn't it?
Yeah, some of them were like, "Oh, what grade were you in?" I'm like, "That was not me."
Yeah.
Everybody was laughing. It was
Could have
great.
been, yeah.
Could have been.
So,
Could have been.
so as far as stops along the way, I mean, and I think y'all will attest to this, but no matter where you go, kids are kids, right?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, and
No
so
doubt.
and that's the thing I think.
Imagine a Tristan and Heath in middle school.
Yeah.
Like you remember the
How
part
many
when I
times were
said
y'all in
about
the office?
aliases?
Yeah.
I'm talking
Just-
about when I was in middle
How many
school.
times? Let's
Yeah.
how many times did y'all visit the principal's office in middle school?
I
Let's
can
just be
tell you in
honest.
kindergarten, I got paddled
In
every week.
kindergarten.
Yeah.
In kindergarten, I got paddled every week.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Every week.
I only went a few times. I could usually talk my way out of trouble.
Yeah.
I know it's probably
I
hard for y'all
believe
to
that
believe.
too.
I
Yeah.
could talk my way out of trouble.
That's usually how it went for me too. Yeah, I was like, well, it always divert.
Oh yeah.
I may have done that, but good Lord, you see what he was doing.
I
you know?
will say this, and this is an honest to God story if I've ever told in my life. So way back in the day, in kindergarten, I actually went kindergarten through second grade. I went to Nashville, and in kindergarten, like I said, there's a couple issues that came up throughout that year, and on our little wall, you had the little names and the little pockets, and like every week, every student of our let's just say 17 to 20 kids had like 2 little popsicle sticks, and when you got in trouble, they pulled out a popsicle stick. Got in trouble again, they pulled out both. Well, on Friday, if you had been okay, whether you had 1 or 2, there was always a big bowl of candy that our teacher had, and you got to get, of course, either 1 or 2 or none. And so we go through from August till May, and this is true story. I never had 1 stick through the entire year, and we get to like the last 2 weeks of school, and as Miss Bennett, the Bennetts both suffer from ADHD.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, if you couldn't tell. And so anyway, well, the sad thing about that was I had allergies when I was a little boy, and I couldn't take, and I didn't know it. Well, the pharmacist kept telling my mom and doctor, just give him some Dimetap and stuff like that. Well, it was almost like a drug
Yeah,
that
it made
made
it
me 10
worse.
times worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they finally figured that out like the last 2 weeks of school. Not that I would have ever got any candy anyway,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
they just made it that much worse. And honest to goodness, we come in from recess on a Friday, and both of my sticks are in my pocket, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
because I'd never had a
Wow.
stick, and both of them there, and I'm like, Miss So-and-so, what, you
What
sure that's
happened?
mine? What's
Yeah.
happened?
Yeah.
It's like, Heath, I'm so sorry. We didn't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't have a backside to this day from my dad,
Yeah.
and principal,
I can imagine.
but
Oh, your dad was the principal?
No, but I'm
no.
when I got
Oh, from
home,
the principal.
back in
Okay,
olden
okay.
days, the
Oh,
way
yeah.
parents
Oh, yeah.
disciplined and such.
That's what I
Yeah.
did with Sarah.
But
She
I
trouble at
wanted to
school.
say, I think this is worth more than 2 pieces of candy on this
Yeah.
deal. The 8.5
Yeah.
months I just been through, but
So the Dimetap was jacking you
oh,
up.
I was all jacked up on the
No,
table.
it's not Dimetap. I
Yeah.
can speak
Yes.
from experience.
It
not
wasn't
that.
Mountain Dew, but
Yeah.
anyway,
Well,
Probably
Wow.
that's
the
true
worst.
story.
And,
you
yeah.
know, I wish I had a kindergarten story to share, but see, I was the last group where you didn't have to have kindergarten.
Oh,
Gotcha.
yeah.
You know, yeah.
Understand.
Sesame Street was
That
our
was your
kindergarten
kindergarten?
for sure. Yeah, yeah.
I got in trouble in kindergarten
Yeah.
for cussing.
That doesn't
In
surprise me.
kindergarten?
So what
Yeah,
did
but
you say?
Candace.
that had to come from my parents.
So what did you say?
I don't even remember. It wasn't anything bad. was probably like,
Oh, you're just 5 years.
you want me to say it
Hit
so we
that
can
beat
bleep
button
it.
over
Oh,
there real
shucks.
quick.
Maybe
Yeah.
the D word or the S word, probably.
Yeah.
Darn it.
5 years
Darn
old,
it.
dropping the F-bomb in kindergarten.
No, I wasn't.
Yeah,
I didn't.
yeah.
I don't think I knew the F bomb
were
in
bad,
kindergarten.
Yeah, yeah.
I was not bad,
Yeah.
but pick it up from home. I blame my parents.
I blame the Diamond Tap.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
blame the Diamond-Tap.
Yeah.
That's right.
Or lack thereof.
Yeah, but I didn't get in trouble. Yeah, I did. I got in trouble in first grade for talking too much.
Shocker.
When I was in third grade, I can remember, back
Yeah.
when I was going through school, it was go put your name on the board and then
Yeah.
a check mark.
Yeah.
And it seems like 3 check marks were principal's office. So
Right.
I had got my name on the board, and there was 2 check marks already. And some time had passed, so the teacher forgets that my name's up there. She says, "Go put your name on the board." And so if that happened, you just put another check, and I'm looking like, "Oh man, I already got 2 check marks." Like, so I wrote. I said, "She'll never figure this out." I wrote my name really small at the bottom and put a check mark by it.
Yeah.
Thought she'll never know.
Yeah.
And my parents will never know. And of course she saw, and she must have took some mercy on me though, because she tells me after recess, "You're going to the principal's office," and I never went. So I don't know if she just didn't want my
Forgot.
parents to kill me, or she thought, "Hey, that's pretty crafty to go up there and write your name really small." Maybe
Yeah.
I thought I'd get away with it, and I didn't.
You didn't.
Well, and we think about that, but just think about how times have changed since.
Oh, yes.
As we've
Yeah.
progressed through the years. I mean, what are some of the biggest differences?
The stuff I did, I'd have never got in trouble for today. I'd have been a model student.
Well, that's
that's
true.
probably
That's
true.
true.
That's
Yeah.
That is
probably
probably true. Yeah.
Yeah.
The expectation is different.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
parents were 100%
Right.
whatever the teacher says.
Yeah.
If they tell me you're doing wrong, that's who I'm going to believe.
Yeah.
It's completely opposite these days.
Right.
It is the minority for sure.
There was an expectation for
Yeah.
me when I went to school of
Yeah.
you may not learn a thing, but you are going to act right. That was
Right.
just
Yeah.
my parents' thing.
Yeah.
So,
And I would say that also with that, just the expectations on the school.
yeah.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
The
For sure.
expectations on the school.
I
I
agree.
mean, whether it was us four, whomever,
Right.
you were expected to act right at school.
Oh, yeah.
But at the same time, the involvement of the child when they left the school,
Yeah.
there was such a difference then versus now. Unfortunately, sometimes,
yeah.
not all the time,
Yeah.
but just
Yeah.
the things that are expected out of school and what all our teachers are supposed to do and
Right.
our counselors
Yeah.
and things
Yeah.
like that. And my heart goes out to
Sure.
anyone
Oh,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
that's in the classroom every day. It doesn't matter what the grade, and
Oh, yeah.
just unbelievable job that teachers are doing statewide and
Oh, yeah.
nationwide, and
Yes.
what they
Oh,
can
yeah.
do.
That's a fact.
100%
There,
agree.
we're expected to do more, and there's not much grace anymore.
Right. Oh, yeah.
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 It's just
Yeah.
it's really crazy, and like Heath said, it's a testament to those who've been in the classroom and
Yeah.
are there every single day. We deal with a lot of things, but I'm telling you, being on those front lines every day, that's tough.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Well, and I think from a societal standpoint too, I mean, there wasn't no arguing back in when I was going through. I mean, if the teacher, the coach, or whatever called and said this happened,
Right.
it happened.
And
You
I
know.
would say too, me and Tristan are both blessed. We both work at great schools with great communities. Not all
Right.
superintendents, unfortunately, are that
Right.
blessed.
Yeah. You're right.
And
Yeah.
it just every teacher that's in that classroom would like to believe and trust that their building principal, assistant principal is going to have their back.
Right.
And
Oh, yeah.
that assistant super soup and the board and
Right.
things like that. And like I said, everywhere that I've been able to work, it's been that way, and I'm very fortunate because it's
Yeah.
not that way everywhere, and it makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah.
It is tough, but educators, I mean, they just do it because they want to make a difference. I mean, that's 95%
Right.
of
Sure.
Absolutely.
educators.
Well,
I mean, it's just to give back,
Talking about we joked a little bit earlier about cell phones, but what's that transition? The new initiative, the no cell bell to
Bell to
bell.
Yeah.
It's been really good, at Bismarck as far as when I talk to my principals, the incidents are way down.
Right.
That's good.
I'm gonna be honest with you, I was skeptical of that at
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
I was a little cynical toward
Sure.
that. So I'm not
Oh,
sure
yeah.
you can ever stop it, and I told some legislators
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But
But at least now you can say, hey, it's a law.
and
Yeah,
that's
it's a law.
the stance we took at
Yeah.
open house. Hey, this is not us. This is a law.
Yep.
And it really has cut down on a lot of things.
That's good.
I was in my high school office this week, and I think they've had just a handful get to more than one
Yep.
Right.
event
That's
with a cell
good.
phone,
Yeah.
and that's a
Yeah,
fight.
Yeah.
You know, and I think too the other interesting piece, I've talked to several teachers that said it's been pretty good from the standpoint of kind of getting the kids' attention back.
Yep.
So that they're able to have good conversations, whereas, you know, in the past, you know, it may be a reward from time to time. You know, if we got 5 minutes left, you can whatever. But said now we take those times up, you know, having talks about what's going on in the world, kind of things.
Well, I mean, I go back and I've had this conversation with, you know, my board, my staff, and I think me and Tristan may have even talked about it before. And it's just so many differences of what kids are being around and viewing in 2025, 26 school year. And I go back to it and I think about it, and I'm 48, I'm old. And so, but I go back and I think about it on the weekends and stuff like that. When I was a child, you know, I'm growing up watching, you know, cartoons on the Saturday, things like that. Most children, that once they have a phone or some type of device, the minute they wake up, a lot of them, until unfortunately they go to sleep, it's right here. And it's all about what's going on right now. And it's not the way we grew up. So these children, they learn totally different than the way we did and the way their brain works. And you got to be super careful with that. But at the same time, you do have to tie in that technology in that school, or you're going to lose them, because I call it dumbing it down and slowing it down. If you sit there and you think you're going to try to lecture for 50 minutes, or that it's not, and you're going to have that much more of an issue in your classroom.
You know, I was laughing the other day you said that, but I can remember in class with the film strip and the big record player that went along with it.
Yeah, you're not old there.
And it would ding to change the slide.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't either.
That's what I'm saying. It was, I mean, that's what was considered, I guess, social media or multimedia back in the day. But that begs a question. When do you think it's appropriate? I heard this asked the other day for a kid to get a cell phone.
My son still doesn't have one. I'll say that. And he's in the 7th, and he wants one. He's hoping for Christmas. He gets one. My daughter, I think, got hers in the 8th grade.
Right.
Smart. You know, you're a smart parent.
I think it's different, though. I think you have so many single parent or guardian that I get it for some of them really needing to, just for safety issues and stuff. But I still go back. You know, when we didn't have cell phones when we went to school, we survived. We made it. And there was a phone in the office that if there was an emergency, heaven forbid,
call the office.
you could call or whatever. But, you know, it's a little different.
So I'm sure like we used to do our parents, but, you know,
everybody,
Dad, Mom, everybody has it. My dad would look at us and say, he'd go, no, they don't. You ain't got it. You ain't
we were talking.
It.
I was talking to my daughter the other day, and she and another boy in her class, they were the last ones to get phones. They were the last ones to be on social media, but we just – his mom and I, we just said, I mean, it's just the longer you can hold them off. My sister's done a pretty good job. She's held my nieces off for as long as, you know, for a while.
When we moved to Bismarck with the kids, you know, of course, we've lived there for a long time, but when we moved them to Bismarck, when I went to Mount Ida, my oldest is the same age as Heath's, and she would come home at least twice a week. Dad, I'm the only one that don't have a cell phone. So first of all, no, you're not. But second of all, even if it's true, you're going to be. And I've held to
stick with it.
I've held to 16. When they're driving. And I've told Katrina and I've talked about this a lot. I've seen a lot of things. All y'all have been administrators under the cell phone. You see things that you wish you hadn't.
Oh yeah.
I'm not
you
gonna
have to have
do
conversations.
Like
the conversations I had to have with Sarah, my mother never had, and I'm saying, if you're at a friend's house, you don't be taking pictures and sending pictures, or if you're here, you know, you don't like the conversations you have
Once
to have, but you have to have
out
those.
of your hands.
And I think you know, and that's tough for our adolescent mind to wrap it around.
Oh yeah, they're not ready for that.
Once I hit the send button, I can't pull it back in.
They're not. And I'm not sure 16 is old enough either. But once she starts driving without us, that's when I think she'll need it in case something were to happen.
Right,
but,
exactly.
You know, I tell her all the time, me and your mom are at everything you do. She works at the school, so do I. You don't need a phone. You can come down the hallway and find us, you know. So we're in a fortunate situation.
I would say, like, I've done some trainings, and you look on some of these sites that say it's safety sites, basically, saying what age should kids get, and a lot of them are like, you know, don't let – you hold off till 16 if you can for Snapchat and things like that, which is smart. And we used to always say, you know, you're not getting Instagram until you're 13. These other parents have lied about their kid's age, and I'm not doing that. So you're teaching, your kid, hey, it's okay to have a little lie, you know. I've seen in, was it a different country maybe, that they're banning social media, I think under 16. I can't remember. I saw it on the news.
I heard that the other day too.
And they're going to hold parents accountable if they're caught with it, which I think that needs to happen. There needs to be some type of consequence.
I agree.
And that'll take the peer pressure out of the situation.
I know this. I know one of the biggest differences probably for any school, at least in the state of Arkansas, was, and we always allowed up to this year kids to have their phones and just not have them out. And we never really, honest to goodness, and I'm sure they had them out, not naive enough to think they didn't.
Yeah.
But it really wasn't ever just a real big issue. We were probably one of the few that it wasn't. With that being said, we did let them have them out like at lunch and stuff.
Right.
With that being said, and I think it ties into just a part of growing up to being a young adult and stuff, you have to be able to do this right here. You have to be able to communicate.
Yeah.
And when you're sitting there in the lunchroom with 300 kids, young adults, and they're doing this for 30 minutes, 20 minutes, or whatever, now instead of them always looking down at lunch, they're looking up.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the
and they're
biggest
also not
differences to me.
taking pictures of everybody and getting in trouble.
Exactly,
and sending
taking videos, trying to send something.
That's all middle school right there for sure.
That's middle school for
and
sure.
And y'all probably see that too when you interview younger people.
Oh,
now.
yeah.
Sometimes it's very difficult for a younger person to go through an interview because they don't have the skill. Getting answers to questions is very hard.
Oh, I know. We had to practice because, I told Sarah shake hands. They told her later she was the only one that shook hands to get into the Rad Tech program.
Small things will really set you aside now.
Interview brings up another interesting thing that we're all having to deal with, but probably more so at the school level, and that's AI.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of folks thinking AI is the answer,
Right.
So do y'all have any kind of policies or procedures in place for that?
I think ASBA, they put out a policy related to it. Hadn't studied, it's not so big, but it's about to be.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's really it can be a really good tool.
It really can. Yeah.
It's a scary thing.
Yeah, it is
too.
a scary thing.
It really is.
Yeah, I mean, when I heard on the radio the other day, and I've seen them before, but talking about those Meta glasses, and all I could think about was, oh my gosh, if I was a principal and these kids are coming with glasses and they can record and you don't know it.
Yeah.
I mean, my gosh.
It's things you never had to think beforehand.
Yes. Crazy.
Well, and I think that's something that's important, though, is being being aware, number one, but number two, it goes deeper as far as levels, as far as having to know what is out there,
And, Katrina's pretty good with all that kind of stuff. And generally it seems like people in my age group, we were kind of the last to grow up without technologies or the first really, whatever, however you want to look at that. So I'm not real good with a lot of technology. She is. And she uses AI a lot, and it's a great tool for her.
Right.
And it can be. I use it some for different things, but the things you can do with it it's really crazy.
I know.
It's really crazy.
Cool and scary. Yeah, at the same time. Yeah.
I don't know where it's going.
I know, exactly.
In another 15 years, it's
exactly.
going to be.
I laugh about it because, prior to this, I worked in radio, and I remember this old guy used to say all the time, oh, they're always going to need folks to talk on the radio. And now there are stations that are 100% AI-generated voices. And, it sounds like it's a human, but it's not. And But again, the bottom line with education, above all else, it's the relationship piece, right?
It is.
Yeah.
And I think that to me, that's the balance and the battle. It is, like you were saying earlier, is the communication skills and that relational piece is so important. And again, even back down to the coaching part, learning how to get along with others, learning how to work toward a common goal, these kinds of things. So
Exactly.
Okay, so Christmas edition. Have y'all started your Christmas shopping yet?
No. Not even a little bit.
I started to say
it's a week away, Tristan.
We got plenty of time.
We got a
I'm
week.
like, what's the date?
Plenty of time for that.
Oh, yeah.
Heath?
I'm not even worried about it.
I've looked at some things.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
He's lying.
Hey, I don't know how many times this has happened to me. I'll roll in there in a panic. They're like, well, we've only got one left, and it's $9,000. Hey, I'll take it.
I'll take it.
And I'll say this, on Tristan's behalf. I mean, he is the gift that keeps on giving. So
That's
I mean,
true.
That's
True.
fair,
That is
just
true.
for-
That's what he
for-
says.
For Katrina,
Yeah.
and the
I
children.
mean,
Yeah.
Katrina and the children.
It's Christmas every day.
And you're the only guy,
That's-
right? You're the
I
only
am.
guy in the house.
I'm the only
Yeah.
Wow.
male.
Yeah.
Wow.
So.
Yeah, and how
That's
old are the girls?
12, 9, and 7.
Woo, just wait till they're all 14,
I'll
15,
be dead
17.
before then.
Well,
There's no way I'll
yeah.
live that long.
Yeah, you'll
No
make
way.
it.
Well,
You'll make
You're
it.
going to have to work till you're 80 to pay for 3 weddings.
You're
Yeah.
right. You're right.
Yeah.
I've got a long. I say I've got 11 years till I can retire, but that's not true
No,
at
no.
all.
No.
More like 50.
Yeah.
I mean,
You'll get there.
Have you been to a wedding lately? There's like 900 attendants on
Yeah,
either side. And, yeah.
I haven't been to one in a while, but I can imagine it's going to be expensive.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
I appreciate
You might get
those
lucky.
reminders.
You might have one like my kid who didn't want anybody there.
Well,
so,
you
yeah.
know, that's probably my oldest. She'll
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
like her mom, and it'll
Yep.
be simple. The other two,
Yeah.
no.
Be extra, huh?
Yeah, a lot. Extra is not even.
Yeah. So what about this? I mean, being an administrator, you do a lot of driving. So what are you listening to, music-wise, or what have you?
Well, I'm a big red dirt Texas country guy,
Gotcha.
so
Yeah.
that's what I listen to most of the
Yeah.
time. And then
He's
some
wanting to say
podcasts.
something, but he's not going to.
Right.
Go
'Cause
ahead.
he's like,
Go ahead.
Michael's going to
Yeah.
have to edit
Yeah.
this out.
Yeah. Yeah.
He can edit it out. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah.
Really
He
was.
said, go ahead.
Yeah.
I agree because I've rode around with him,
Yeah.
and he's
Yeah.
listened to quite a bit
Yeah.
of material like that.
So he's what you're saying is he's pretty advanced. He's playing these folks you had never heard of.
Oh,
or-
he's advanced, all right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So red dirt country, who comes to mind?
Well, my favorite's
Everybody
Cross
has-
Canadian Ragweed.
Oh yeah.
I've heard of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're
I
good.
don't- okay.
Charlie Robinson, he passed away
Yeah,
a couple years ago.
right,
Jason
yeah.
Boland.
Okay.
Those are some Robert Earl
Yeah.
Keen. Those are some of my favorites. But
Gotcha. Yeah.
I have a very wide taste in music, so
Yeah.
it could be anything from 1980 to
Right.
about 2005 or so.
Gotcha.
So-
When country was country in the 90s, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Heath, what about you?
I listen to everything. I would probably say I probably listen to more rock than
Right.
anything else, but I like country. I like
Yeah.
everything. Hey, if they're talented enough to
Right.
sing and things like that,
Oh yeah.
I listen to it. So.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing is, like I said, the older I get, the more I find myself going a little further back with the music.
Yeah,
so.
me too.
And Candace will come in someday with what was that?
He makes fun of us, Katie, but
What was the one? The something cat.
Doja Cat.
Doja Cat. My
What is
God.
that? You know what that is?
Exactly.
I have no
I've heard
idea
of
what
it.
y'all are talking
Exactly. Yeah.
Listen.
Yeah.
Listen, like if you listen to everything, you should hear Doja Cat. She's on the radio all the time.
It's horrible.
Like Katie's.
It's
He
horrible.
makes fun of Katie
I've
because she
never heard
likes
of that.
Machine Gun Kelly.
Yeah.
I'm like,
well, Machine Gun
he just
Kelly.
he just has this. He sticks in his
Yeah.
country and his oldies.
about. You have to
He's in
edit
the
out
bubble.
Machine
Yeah.
gun out of Machine Gun.
Well-
Kelly? We're gonna cut that.
Well, the thing about
Just
exactly.
Kelly.
Well,
Just
yeah, because with
MGK.
her, yeah, she
Who was he
comes
married
in.
to?
Who was he married
Machine
to?
Gun Kelly? That's
Yeah.
what I thought.
yeah,
That's what I
Megan
thought.
Fox. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was trying to remember. I could
But-
see her face.
but
You know her?
She in Transformers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know who you're talking
Hey,
about.
the
I know
only-
he'd know her.
Yeah.
I don't
yeah.
watch a lot of movies, so
Except
Yeah.
Transformers.
That one, except for that one.
Well, yeah.
Well, the only traction
I remember that.
MGK has got, he's remade a couple of country songs
Oh,
and screwed them
gosh.
all up, but he's
No
getting a little
way.
bit of traction because he comes out and, it's not good.
Favorite
at all.
Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Christmas Vacation, 100%.
Yeah.
I know. I love it.
Christmas
100%.
Story. Right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
You got to
exactly.
watch Christmas Vacation every year.
It's
Yeah.
that is hands
classic.
down the best Christmas movie
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So what's your thinking back on it? Favorite Christmas gift of all time?
Man, I don't know.
What
That's a
about-
tough one.
What about you, Candace?
I don't know. I'm like,
I would
I
say
don't
mine.
know.
One that sticks out in my mind was back in the day. I got an Earl Campbell football jersey. I was a
Sweet.
big Earl Campbell fan.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Back in the day. So
Mine would have been guns.
yeah,
Yeah.
My
right.
dad was a big hunter, and
Gotcha.
just the opportunity
Yeah.
to spend time with him and
Yeah.
that.
That's a lot of mine are hunting. Shotguns that I still use,
Hunting
turkey
and
hunting and
fishing.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's a song
Loving
about
every
that.
day.
Loving every day.
So what
Hunting and fishing.
So what was yours, Candace?
I don't know.
This
They
may
got
be
me
this Christmas.
sidetracked.
It may be this
My
Christmas.
favorite, my favorite Christmas gift.
Yeah.
Still yet to come.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Besides Scott, we'll say it that way.
Yeah, I should say that, I guess, but
Yeah.
I don't know. There's so much stuff. Nothing that just like I don't
Yeah.
hunt. So not
okay.
guns,
That's a
not
shame.
guns.
All right.
That's a shame.
Well, we may be testing the waters too much here, but what about an embarrassing story you can share as a teacher, coach?
Man, I'm not sure the statute
Oh,
of limitations
boy.
passed on all of those.
I'll let you think I've got a good one.
Oh,
Go
yeah.
ahead.
All
Oh,
right.
yeah. Here we
All
go.
right.
When I first started out teaching and coaching, and
Yeah.
you're so full of energy and just,
Yeah.
want to do a great job in this, that. And, every now and then coaches get bad raps.
Right. Oh,
Like
yeah.
they don't do anything. They
Yeah.
don't teach anything. Well, for a year or two, I taught health and PE and things like that besides my coaching and stuff like that. Well, I was like, we're going to do reports. We're going to do this and that and other. You're going to do homework. We're
Right.
not just sitting in here. And we did. And so anyway, well, like most schools, unfortunately, sometimes some of your books that you have, maybe they're a little out of date.
Yeah.
And like there was like a crisis hotline. Like basically, I told the kids, and it was like a 10th, 11th, 12th grade health class,
Right.
and I was like, okay, you got to report, this, that, and other. And, if you want bonus points and stuff, call this hotline and, see what all they say, whatever. Just get some information.
Right.
And so anyway, the number was in the book. The
Yeah.
number was in the book.
Yeah.
And Mr. Dobbins, it was my principal at that time, if he's listening and he sees this,
Yeah.
he will remember.
Right.
Well,
Oh,
2
no.
days goes by, and I have like a couple of kids coming in classroom,
Yeah.
not acting like normal. Instead of,
Right.
they don't want to be there or whatever, maybe they come in and they're just laughing and giggling, this and that,
Right.
whatever. I'm like, what is wrong with y'all? And so anyway, they're like, Coach Bennett, that number's not what you think it is anymore. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And they're like, call that number, Coach, when you get home. Well, sure enough, I mean, I get out there. I didn't even have a cell phone
Right.
in 2000 or 01 or whatever.
Yeah.
And I called that number. It was not a crisis hotline anymore.
Uh,
And so
it was a hotline.
it was a
okay.
hotline.
It was a hotline.
It was a hotline. It was a hot one. And so my principal calls me and is like, Coach,
Oh, no.
I've got board members reaching out to me because there's
Yeah.
something about a extra credit reports you're having them, work on, and they're calling and this and that.
Yeah.
He's like, they may need you to come to a board meeting. I didn't even know what a board meeting was.
Right.
And,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh my
my
Lord, I'm about to
gosh.
lose my
Yeah.
job. I'm
Yeah.
telling Amy, my wife,
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
probably it. I'm
Yeah.
going to give coach like for a year or two,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna, just because I was trying to make them do something,
And you're like,
be
look,
involved.
it's in the book.
And so anyway, I was like, that'll be the last time I ever, before
Right.
I ask them to do something, I'll call
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
number
Call
or
them.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How many times
but
have you had to tell that to Amy in all
Yeah.
these years?
Yeah.
I'm about to lose my job. How many times?
more than once.
More than once. Huh?
Exactly.
I don't have anything that can top that.
Oh,
I'm
that's a
really,
good
I
one.
can't,
That is a good one.
I tell people all the time, I do hate to think of how I might be remembered by a few parents from when I was, 22, 23
Oh,
years
yeah.
old.
Yeah.
I could be a little volatile maybe
Yeah.
at times.
I'm the same way. I promise. I go back and I still have those relationships with students from Horatio or Mount Ida or wherever, and I'm just like, I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
wish I had not been so hard. And just because maybe the way I was coached doesn't
Yeah.
mean that's the way you should have
Yeah.
or had
That's a
to
good
have
way
been
to put it.
coached.
Yeah.
But most all of them will
Well,
come
you know,
back and say,
I
"Hey,
will
we
tell
know
y'all,
you cared. and
y'all
that's why
will-
you did it."
Yeah.
Y'all
Yeah,
will
that's
appreciate
good.
this, especially being as a basketball coach. Probably the worst one I ever had. I got forced into service as a basketball coach
Yeah.
right about the time Katrina and I started to date.
Oh.
And so she was a basketball coach, and she couldn't come that night. I had to coach a high school game, and she said, I would give any amount of money to come watch this tonight because I'm
Yeah.
going to tell you what I knew about basketball. Nothing. I didn't know anything.
Yeah.
And we just had a situation come up where I had to coach, and so I'll never forget this. I tell this to Coach Toddy all the time. I said, do you remember what you told me when you sat me down and told me I was going to be the basketball coach? He said, number one, don't wear a football shirt to the basketball game.
Right.
Wear something different. And
Yeah.
call a timeout in every quarter to at
Yeah.
least give the appearance that you care.
Yeah.
Now, I'm a competitor, so if I'm
Right.
doing it, I want to be good at it,
Right.
even
Yeah.
though I don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
So I get down to Sparkman, and they've played like 18 games.
Yeah.
This is our second.
Right.
Oh.
And so I'm like, well, this is not going to be good.
Yeah.
So, the first quarter goes by, I call timeout, and I've had this, kids got too many fouls, so, we're in some foul trouble too. And anyway, second quarter is rolling, and so I'm thinking, okay, this is a good time for timeout. They went on a little run. I call timeout, nothing happens. I call timeout. The rest just look at me. I finally yelled, can I get a timeout? I said, Coach, you don't have the ball. You can't call a timeout. I didn't even know that. You cannot call a timeout without the basketball. And so he's looking at me like an idiot. And I said, well, that's a stupid rule. In football, we can call him whenever we want.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh
So
my
I'm sure he still, whoever the referee was, still tells that story. Like, this idiot coaches basketball. Don't even know.
Gosh.
He didn't even know that you couldn't call a timeout without the ball.
That's awesome. Oh, yeah.
And so then
That's
Katrina
great.
told me what an idiot I was,
Yeah.
too.
That
Like,
is
well, I
great.
didn't know that.
Yeah, I can imagine going
That's a
home.
dumb rule. You
having
should be able to call those timeouts.
Anytime you
Yeah.
want to. Anytime.
So-
Stop them mid.
That was bad.
First down.
Yeah.
So I heard these.
That was bad.
I heard these questions posed the other day, and Candace, you can jump in
gosh.
too. But if you could change one thing in your personal life to make you better, what would it be? One thing in your personal
As
life.
an
make it
educator.
Hey,
Wait just a minute. What are we
How
talking
long,
about?
Michael, you recording?
yeah, just period.
Go ahead and
I
turn
mean,
that off.
Yeah. One thing in your personal
It's
life.
going off the rails at
Yeah.
this point.
Or is this Katrina or Amy could change it?
Yeah, that's
That's
true.
probably.
Yeah,
Let me
yeah.
just call Katrina and she
Yeah,
can tell you.
yeah, exactly.
We'll put her on the phone.
Oh gosh.
Ah.
Okay, one thing. Gosh, I'll jump in anytime you think
I
of
know
one.
mine.
What's that?
Mine's easy.
Go ahead.
Don't be so hard on yourself.
Yeah,
Mm.
absolutely.
Because
That's a good one.
As an educator, and I think people in general,
Yeah.
people are under a microscope so
Sure.
hard, and because of phones and things like
Yeah.
that, we're human. We're all going to make
Yep.
mistakes.
Yeah.
Right.
And give yourself a little bit of grace.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
just knowing that, looking back, and I think there's a few country dogs on
Yeah.
this, but,
Yeah.
the younger me,
Yeah.
I mean, the younger me is going to make those mistakes,
Yeah.
and that's how you're going to learn.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And so when I was, 26, trying to be a principal for the first
Right.
time,
Yeah.
coaching, 23,
Uh-huh.
trying to be a superintendent at 30, just understand nobody's expecting you to be perfect.
Right.
If you just give it
Yeah.
everything you got every day,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
those kids in that community and those parents know that you care,
Oh yeah.
that's all you got to do.
The rest of it's going to fall into place.
Yeah.
That's a great point. And, what I would say is don't stress so much.
Yeah.
I used to let things bother me so
Right.
bad. I would lose sleep, and
Yeah.
over things I couldn't control.
Right.
Yeah.
And, worrying about things that might happen.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I wish I had learned to harness that
Oh, yeah.
sooner.
Yeah. Well, and along those lines, I think back to when I was superintendent and learned that lesson. Like you're saying, you work super hard, no doubt about it. But the old quote, take your job very serious, but don't take yourself too serious, because I can remember we had a situation. It was a faculty member with a student kind of thing. It was not good. They call and say, "Hey, Channel 4, 711, we're coming." They don't ask and say, "Can we come?" We're coming. And so anyway, I get home at night, long day, and this was the day we got back from Christmas break. So and anyway, I get home, and finally about 10 o'clock news rolls around, and then, my wife was like, "Well, how did?" And I said, "Well, I guess it went as good as it probably could, And anyway, they get ready, and they're talking about this story leading up to it, and they had the neighbor that they talked to may have had 3 teeth in his head, had a hoodie on, and the thing
Was
is,
flossing.
yeah, and so. It flashes up.
It was
Darren
really
Beck
him.
was
Don't let him-
superintendent.
don't let him
Yeah.
tell you.
So it was then and there that I thought, yep, can't take yourself too serious.
No.
I mean, I had people honestly, that called me that night from across the state. I thought it died, and they're like, "Oh man, that superintendency's wearing you out." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's been tough."
You're looking rough.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah,
But going back to what you guys said, that's why I think it's super important for principals and teachers to constantly meet with kids and try to build their confidence, because adults, we all battle with that. I've been a pleaser my whole life. It's just my personality, and it took me a long time to realize, who
Now
cares?
Yeah.
Now I just am like,
I started
whatever.
to say she's on the opposite end.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
going
I
to say
am.
that's
I
that
have
was probably
learned.
before me and Tristan
That is-
come
Yeah.
into
Totally.
That is
the
not
co-op.
the Candace that I know.
Totally.
The pleasing
Totally.
stuff ended.
I've
a few
worked
years
on
back.
that, but changing, I would probably say listening, because it goes back to the ADHD. I'm a terrible listener.
Yeah.
Terrible. It's terrible.
Yeah.
But if
What'd
I
you
could
say?
change that,
Yeah, exactly.
that is me.
Yeah.
That is me.
Well,
What about you? What would
well,
you change, Darren?
Well, as far as that
You would be
goes,
nicer. You would learn to be
No,
nicer.
no,
He
Yes.
said no.
I'd probably
That's
we'll follow your vein of listening. I'd learn to tune you out more, probably.
Hey,
Yeah.
that's a good
She
thing.
cracks me up when she gets on something. I mean, she's on something. I literally could
can't.
say something and she'd agree with it, and
Or not even hear you.
One of these days, I'm going to slide like her retirement. We'll go to Darren Beck with, "Hey, just sign this."
Just right here.
Yeah, exactly. And the other question I found that was pretty a good one to think about. What's the worst purchase you've ever made? Worst thing you've ever bought?
Oh my gosh.
And I think about this. Probably for me, I can remember vehicle-wise.
That's where I was going.
I'll say anything dealing with cooking because I don't cook.
That's true. Yeah.
Worst
yeah.
purchase.
Yeah.
Ask my husband; he will say yes.
Yeah. Why'd you buy this?
Yeah. What's the point?
But I bought the old Bronco too back in the day.
Oh, yeah?
And then I was driving one day and something ran out in front of me and it was kind of in a curve. When that joker went up on two wheels, I was like, okay, I'm done with this.
This wasn't a good.
No, it was not a good investment. Yeah.
That's my mind goes to vehicles that were not good. That's really probably the worst.
Yeah.
I don't really know anything.
He's
I
like-
mean, honestly,
Yeah.
I'm so cheap
Well, you
that
think-
you got to do the
That's
purchase
true.
He
That's
first.
you look
true.
like
Yeah,
senior
very
elf
true.
over here.
You
with
know,
it.
I mean, Santa needs me. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah. Hey,
That
back.
shirt's awesome.
That shirt is
you know,
awesome. I can't.
I started saying, back in radio, I mean, you
So
can't
good.
even afford to pay attention, and I'm one of the few people that tell in public. I'll admit I got an education for the money because radio was, but yeah, what about you? The cooking thing, you think?
Oh yeah, probably like
Complete waste
I
of
do
money?
Waste of money. Yeah.
Can't
that's
cook
true.
at all. Huh?
I mean, I can cook. I just don't like to.
I think there's
and
two-
I'm not very good at it.
Like she does a
Really good banana pudding.
really good banana pudding.
That's all right.
Everybody
Yeah.
likes my banana pudding.
And then there's something else you told me you cook all the time. I can't-
Cornbread casserole. That's
yeah.
not. I mean,
I had a buddy one time tell me that like his school that he worked at, of course, not every year the school couldn't afford to do it, but pretty often they would get like a Christmas bonus and stuff like that, and he never would, and he kind of took care of the financials and checkbook and stuff like that, and he's like, I can't deposit it. Of course, my wife would see it. I can't put it here, put it there. And he's like, there was one place I know I could always put it in, and I'd never have to worry about her finding it. Was in the oven.
that would work right
would
there
work.
for her.
That would
for
totally
sure.
work.
For sure.
Good
Yeah,
thought.
the oven has not been used often. Scott does cook a lot better than I do, but I mean, I will cook. I just don't like to.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
poor Sarah, she had to live with chicken tenders and French fries and
Might live on that a lot, but it's because we're on the run all the time.
and crock pot stuff. I can do that.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah. So okay,
We all have different gifts. Okay,
All
cooking
different
is
gifts.
not one
all
of mine.
different gifts.
you have a gift.
Yeah, a gift for putting up with you.
Have y'all noticed that yet?
Is that
getting
right,
tough.
Katie?
No.
Gift for putting up with
Hey.
Darren.
Katie agrees.
Yeah.
That is tough.
I'll have to
Yeah.
come to her defense on this.
Yeah.
She's busy just like
Be
you are
nice.
all the time.
Be nice.
And I nonstop have to reach out to y'all for help on different things, and y'all know how it is. And within usually just a minute or two,
Yeah.
Miss Candace is replying back.
Christmas candy.
She is
Christmas
helping,
candy is usually
whether it's a
quick on the
call, an
message, that's for
email,
sure.
a text.
Yeah.
So
I try.
I will have to say that is one of her talents of trying to do the absolute best
Be
job she can.
responsive. I try to be
I
responsive.
appreciate
How many-
everything you do.
Well,
How
that
many
make,
principals and
Listen,
assistant
I didn't even
principals do we
pay him
have?
to say this.
Hey, that
this is
make-
awesome.
Yeah, what is
make,
it? What's wrong
that
with
makes
you?
me feel
Yeah.
pretty good from this angle. So at least she's doing something when she's ignoring
sir.
me.
100%.
Okay.
100%.
I do feel better
Yeah.
about that.
And there's
Yeah.
been a
Yeah.
couple times
Yeah.
on those phone calls,
Yeah.
she'll be like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm just going to
Yeah.
act like I'm talking
Yeah.
to you
Yeah.
and stay on the phone with me here
Yeah.
while I stay away from Darren.
Yeah, exactly. I would believe
It's
that
getting
100%.
it is getting deep.
She
in
has
here.
a code she sends
Yeah.
out to us
Yeah.
when she needs a rescue.
Yeah, I tell her all the
Signal.
time. I tell her they name streets after her one way. I tell her that all the time.
But now
so-
on the flip side, I will say in a negative, sometimes when you do have to depend on her at retreats,
yeah,
she could possibly up and bail on you and
Yeah, be gone.
say, hey,
Yeah.
I don't know
I
what
know
you're-
y'all
I
are
don't know what
going-
you're talking
Y'all
about.
are going to supper and you've got all
Yeah.
this stuff planned, and we
Yeah.
appreciate everything you've
It's-
done, but
Yeah.
I've got to get back.
It's time to
I've
end
got
this podcast.
a whole lot of these things.
I'm going.
I blame
yeah.
Katie. I
It
blame
depends on what you're
We
committed
blame
to.
Katie too.
Yeah.
Listen, I let her peer pressure me.
But you
One
know,
time.
Hey,
One time.
All is bright.
hey,
All is bright.
you know what's funny about Candace? She's so to truthful to a fault. She was like, well, we weren't going to tell you we were leaving. But then I thought, oh, my God, what if we had an accident? And
Exactly.
just
Or
starts,
she was just hoping you wouldn't notice she was
exactly.
I
or
didn't want
possibly considering
listen,
retirement.
I did not
That's
want
right.
karma. I
That's
did not
right.
want karma to be coming back. I was like, Katie, no, we're going to let him know.
Yeah. And then
You know, it's one thing to want to leave. It's another to not even sit down while you're trying to. It's like, I really got to go, but I don't have time to sit.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Not true. We
Yeah,
finished
yeah.
our meal.
Yeah. Hey,
And
It was
visited.
quick, though.
It was Tristan's first year.
That's true.
I mean, he's brand new to
Yeah.
our
Oh,
co-op.
Oh, listen,
I
we
was
knew Tristan.
disappointed
We've
in
known
him.
Tristan
Yeah.
for so long.
Yeah.
It's
Tristan
okay.
had just got through. He's like, so what do we get to do tonight? We've did all
Nothing,
of our
everybody's
professional
going home.
development all day long. I was like, Candace just burnt the tires off her vehicle leaving.
Exactly.
So, I mean, I don't
Yeah.
know, Tristan. I guess we can do our book study.
yeah. She's great.
A
She's
lot of book
Book
studying
study.
going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Books.
She's grabbing food off everybody's plate as she's walking out.
Oh,
You're not going to eat
Roland.
that, are you? I'm on the
Oh,
road. Yeah.
Oh, there
God.
was barbecue sauce.
Yeah.
I mean, that did happen.
Slinging it everywhere.
Oh, we ain't got time. We don't need napkins. We're rolling out
Yeah.
anyway.
See y'all later.
You know people feel bad when they're
Yeah.
going down the interstate and they're calling, hey, if y'all need anything, just tell them at the front desk.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
got to go.
Yeah, we're out.
Peace out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there
That's
was
a true
barbecue
story.
sauce behind her going to the vehicle.
Oh,
yeah.
gosh.
Yeah.
We're never going to live it down.
Grazed
No.
off
It's
everybody's
fine.
plate on
She
the
did.
I
way
can
out.
take it.
She did.
Like I said, I've learned to just, I don't even care now.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's like whatever.
I get it.
Retirement
Go do
candy.
your book
You gotta
studies.
love it.
We
Yeah,
were.
exactly.
Yeah.
We were.
Yeah. Hey, exactly.
What
Yeah.
book-
A
what
lot of book studying.
What book studies are y'all doing?
Yeah.
Well, that was then. This is now.
Yeah, exactly.
We're
The
looking
Holy
forward
Bible.
to seeing what exactly book studies we're going to
The
have
Holy
this,
Bible.
The Holy
this summer
Bible.
retreat. You
Exactly.
have not released that yet,
That's
but when
right.
you do, we will be studying.
That's right. We'll be all
You
over
bet.
it.
You bet.
So,
we're going to find him a book.
parting advice to somebody considering education as a profession. What are you going to tell them?
I asked a kid last
Edit.
week. Yeah, I probably won't turn that off.
Yeah.
No,
No.
he was wanting to be a coach, and I said,
Yeah.
you need to ask yourself one question: can you live without it?
Yeah.
He's wanting to be a football coach. So can
Yeah.
you live without football? And he said, I don't think so. So then it's a good choice for you.
Yeah.
Because if you can live without it,
Yeah.
you know, never
That's right.
divide the salary as a coach or a teacher or anything in education.
Right.
Never take your salary and divide it by the number of hours that you actually spend doing
Right.
it, because
Right.
it will depress you.
Oh,
Yeah.
it will.
If you're
Yeah.
in it for money. But it's a tough profession. It's not going to get any easier. You know,
But we need good
you need
people
to
for
you need to
kids.
love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need
Oh,
to love
yeah.
it. And you need
Yeah.
to have a heart for it.
Oh, absolutely.
That's what I would say.
Yeah.
I agree 100% because right now, currently, my daughter is out for Christmas break, and she wants to teach English and coach and things
Yeah.
like that. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, you know, there's other things out there, but it's a slap in the face to me when I've spent 26 years of my
Yeah.
life and have so many people in this room that
Right.
I respect
Yeah.
and things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But whether it's teaching or whether my wife's in healthcare or whatever,
Right.
if you're going to be successful in anything, you have to have, like what Tristan just said, you have to be super passionate about
Right.
it. And
Yeah.
you have to take
Yep.
it personal. It's a fine line of how personal you take it
Yeah.
on the sleepless nights and things
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
But
But
as
you're going
long
to
as
make a
you
difference.
are passionate about it, you're going to have a chance to be great.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I also say this: education is the greatest profession because it
Oh, yeah.
creates all
Yes.
other professions.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, most
Absolutely.
of us can think back to a teacher or a coach, you know, like I said, on the front of that bus that put us on this path. And then
Yeah.
when I was a coach, there was a principal who stopped me and put me
Yep.
on the path to administration. That's not something I'd ever sought before.
Right. Yeah.
But, you know, divine appointments, I would say. But we can
Yeah.
all, I'm sure everybody has a teacher they remember, at least
Oh,
one,
yeah.
Yeah.
if not more. And often they're the first ones to encourage you to chase the things that you're passionate about. Because
Yeah.
you spend a lot of time with a teacher.
Yeah, you
know,
do.
more so than your parents,
Yeah.
you know, during the school year. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, teachers make such huge impact. So do principals. So, you know, I'd
Yeah.
never been to the principal's office except once when I was graduating. He called a bunch of us in.
Oh.
Hang on, and said, he gave us silver dollar, said, if you have to spend this, come back and talk to me. Like, he cared enough. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
he got to know us.
that's not why I went to the principal's office.
And-
No, I know.
And
But I'm just saying,
needless
like,
to say, Candace went back like 50 times. Stop.
I
Yeah.
still have the silver dollar.
Yeah.
So
you
you
know,
never spent it.
It was just a,
One more silver dollar.
yeah.
That's right.
One more silver dollar.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, just that small impact a principal can make, just to know, hey, this guy cares. If I get in a bind, and you know, if I ever get in a situation,
It's
you know,
funny
there's
'cause
somebody that you can come back to.
Y'all know Tony, my high school principal, and the kids love all my principals. I think I have 3 great ones there at Bismarck. But he was talking. He said, did you even know who your principal was when you were in school? I said, I knew who he was, but not really.
Right.
It's a totally different game. He said, did you ever just go hang out in your principal's office? Because there are always kids wherever Tony's at.
Yeah.
And I said, no, it's just that relationship piece,
Yeah.
And it's different now than it was then. And so.
And it's always interesting when you run into a former student and they're like, good, bad, or indifferent. And they're like, you remember that time I had to come to the office? And you're like, yeah.
I've got 2 of my former students from Ouachita student teaching at Bismarck right now.
Oh, wow.
So that's,
okay.
that's
that's
interesting.
cool.
It's been awesome to be able to work with,
that's cool.
with them.
That's cool.
They were in high school all 4 years I was there.
Right.
So that's a cool deal to see.
Yeah, it really is. Well, fellas, thanks for taking time today.
No problem at all. Thank y'all for having us.
Oh,
We're
absolutely.
not even going to edit too much of that.
No,
No.
I don't think anything,
No.
honestly.
Really?
I'm surprised.
The only thing we're going to edit is putting
Shocked.
Candace's picture back in the
Yeah,
middle of this. Yeah, that's the only
I'm
thing.
looking forward to that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, y'all have a Merry Christmas,
Happy
Happy New
holidays.
Year, and keep doing the Lord's work, as they say, because it's certainly that, right? Exactly.
It is.
Can I
for
get an
sure.
amen?
You know,
Amen.
Amen. That's right. All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this episode of
Merry
Spilling the Tea
Christmas.
in Studio D.